Guten Morgen. Good morning. It's Wake Up Real Estate. It's a Thursday, September 8th. Are you ready for some football? It's Thursday night football, NFL. We've had some college football already, but getting into the professional. Although I don't know, college has kind of become sort of like professional football. Ryan disappeared.
I was going to set my fantasy lineup.
Oh, there you go. All right,
I was
hold on.
for my coffee. Ryan,
take charge here for a minute. I'm going to switch to a better Wi-Fi.
Sure. Yeah. So so on the kind of plan today is to look at this Facebook Messenger CRM type stuff that we talked about yesterday on the show that we were going to be talking about, and in the mastermind at wakeup.realestate/mm. So Josh is going to get his screen up and show that. I will say we did. You there?
Go ahead. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, we did start to generate some messenger-based leads last night. Just a few. And a messenger-based lead is a conversation where somebody kind of chats in. And we had one kind of positive response where somebody says, yeah, check back in December out of the first 3 that we generated here. So Josh, I'll let you show your screen. Yep, go ahead.
Well, yeah. Well, before we do that, this is a follow. If you missed yesterday's show, we were talking about, going into what's working now, and we started with what's not working, which is text marketing is changing and evolving and more regulated, et cetera, which was causing some issues. So Ryan showed an ad that he had just gotten working, and then it was a lead form or a lead ad, and that became problematic. So we took the thing that was working exactly as it was, and on our Wednesday workshop, which we do every Wednesday at 1:00, he turned that into a messenger ad. And there have been 3 conversations that have happened so far. So 3 leads have conversed or messaged from the ad, one of which I believe we've had an actual conversation. And the lead said that they were looking to buy in December. That's all positive. That's great. That's encouraging. I have, because I get a little crazy when stuff like this happens. I have 6 campaigns running.
Right.
And because I wanted to test a number of different things and just kind of see what works best. In reviewing past campaigns that we have run as Messenger, the engagement objective seems to be the winner. It's also what is working in Mark's ad. I am testing some others. You can run a Messenger ad as a sales objective, as a lead objective, as an engagement objective, as a reach objective. But to get actual conversations, it looks like engagement is best. So for those of you wondering or playing
we should probably get the replay of the mastermind session yesterday live in the group or something or on the site so that people have more context on what we're talking about.
That's a good shout.
But basically what we're doing is we're running messenger ads where people apply a messenger instead of using Facebook lead ads where we auto text, because the auto texting is becoming harder to do because of regulations.
And so a follow-up to that conversation yesterday, and what I teased in the title of today's session, is the idea of using Facebook Messenger, your Facebook Messenger inbox, as your CRM. Okay. And again, we're not, this is just an idea. And so we just want to explore what that might look like if you were going to do that and why you might want to do that. So this is my Facebook Messenger inbox for one of my business pages. And if you want to find yours, I think the URL structure that you need to go to is business.facebook.com/latest/inbox. It's a mouthful, but that's how I got here. Okay. You can see that, this does look a lot like a CRM and has a lot of the functionality. So this is a message that came in last night, 6:00, from one of the ads that I launched.
You might need to be logged into your page for that URL.
Correct.
So you might be using Facebook as your page first, and then go to that latest slash inbox.
Correct. So how I did that was if you go up top right, facebook.com top right, and then you have to switch the profile to be so that you're on Facebook, you're acting on Facebook as the page, or you're engaging on Facebook as the page. And then if you go to that URL, it should bring that up for you. Okay. So you can see down here, and I just saw this morning, I can add WhatsApp to my inbox. And WhatsApp is one of the messaging mechanisms that you can add to your ads. You can have WhatsApp as a way for someone to message. Okay. I don't have that as part of the ads that I'm testing, but you could if you're in an area where WhatsApp is popular or whatever. So I'm going to X out of that for now. But you can see here, these are all past conversations. These are all leads that have messaged either on Facebook or through Instagram as a DM, as a message. Okay. And this is one that came last night. And I don't know, she doesn't seem to be very, there doesn't seem to be much intent. She tapped both of the, basically, I set mine up to say, let us know how we can help. And it gave them two options. One is tap here for picks, pricing, and other details, which this is the reply, or tap here if you'd like information about special financing and incentives, which is that. And then I sent a voice memo this morning to Karen, introducing myself, making sure she got the information she was looking for. And as I would always do if I was texting, I threw out a question. I said, are you only looking in the Edders area, or are you open to other areas as well? It was something like that.
And the open rate on that response is 100%.
Correct.
There's not a chance at all that Karen will not see that in the next day or two.
Exactly. Now, I could have just done text. I love doing voice memos because people can hear your voice. And for most of you, that's a lot less threatening than getting on camera and doing a video, though you can do that right through Messenger as well, very easily. And you can see also, this is where it becomes interesting from a CRM perspective. You can add notes. You can sort by different, so like lead tracking, raw, in progress, interested. Well, I don't even know what some of this is. We're literally just doing this live here and exploring this as an idea. There's no profile information.
You can make your own labels.
Yes, exactly. So I could add a label here. Okay. I could add a label and call this 190 red maple lead.
Now, where that gets interesting, Josh, and I know you don't know the answer, is I know we can run ads to the people who've responded, right? There's an ad object. Can we run it to specific labels?
Yeah, that I don't know. And I was trying, you can even set reminders to yourself. You can schedule a reminder to, I don't even know what
follow up.
Schedule a reminder and title. I'll say, follow up.
Yeah, do one in like 2 minutes so we can see what it does.
Yeah, okay. What time is it?
It's 11:11.
So I'll do 11:15. We'll see what happens. And today's the 7th. Today's the 7th. I think the 8th, I think. I was skipping ahead. So there's all kinds of cool functionality here.
Lead needs an owner to. That's interesting too.
Wait, what did it say?
See, it says lead must have an owner in order to send a reminder. When you tried to do that.
Oh, so how can I do an owner? Notes, follow up. What's the ... here? Move to spam, delete, Marcus follow up, Marcus unread.
How about the 3 dots next to her name at the top right? Oh, and then you have the assigned conversation under her name over in the main chat box in the middle. See what that does. Ooh, that's interesting too.
Very cool stuff here. I mean,
so the thing we talked about, we're skipping around a little, but what we talked about on the mastermind yesterday was this idea: could you just run your whole business out of Facebook using the ad platform, using Facebook as a CRM, using the messenger objective? It gets as high open rate as texting or better. And we're just playing around and brainstorming, but it seems like you could almost.
Yeah. So I'm clicking over to her. This is her profile. Don't message Karen
Yeah.
here. But you
And I
could.
think,
This is where you can go and see. Do you have common friends? Do you have common interests? You know, what you can glean information that you could use in the conversation.
yeah,
You know, tactfully, obviously.
you can just go
Brian,
right on her
you're about to say
wall.
something else.
You should go right on, hey, do you need you just go right on her wall. That's, people love that.
Yeah, just right on her timeline. Hey, are you ready to buy a house yet, or what?
Yeah. Don't do that.
Just kidding. Obviously, just kidding. But
my favorite is when my aunt wants me to call her. She just writes on my wall, hey, call me.
The other interesting, so some other interesting things here is you can see this is, I can do all messages or just Messenger, Instagram. I can go and check on my Facebook comments, which I don't know why there's a red 5 here. I must have missed some comments maybe. You know, oh, there's people tagging other people on an ad that we had running. But that's nice to have that all in one spot. And then there's Instagram comments as well. A lot of these seem spammy or body, but it makes for a very interesting, potential paradigm shift. And honestly, I'm thinking, at least for the meantime, I'm going to run with this. Yes, it ends up being becoming another place that you have to check in, but my stance would be, I'm confident if I add that and we figure out the best practices and strategies for adding more people into this database, that turns into more business.
Yeah, I think one of the key things will be, can you message en masse to these respondents when you have something you want to share? And I think that happens through the ad platform.
Right. So, what was interesting, when you were in the workshop yesterday, when you were in there,
yeah,
I had pointed out the sponsored message thing. When I tried to do it this morning, that was grayed out for me. I couldn't choose that for some reason. I have no idea why. I could not figure out why, and then I had to move on to something else. But in theory, one of a retargeting or remarketing type of campaign you can run once you build a database of people in that messenger, you can then very affordably put a sponsored message back in front of them. Okay. So you can't blast them. You can't send like a broadcast email or a broadcast private message to them. But that's a way that you can, for minimal investment, put a message back in front of them, whether you do it weekly, every other week, monthly. But that's how you can use, theoretically, some of our texting scripts or some of the, the concepts that we do there for sure.
So he's saying they'll cut you off for too much messaging.
No,
I think part of the game here would be trying to get people's contact info through the dialogue you have in Messenger manually and moving that over.
And Heath, that this does not, I understand why you're saying that. This does not apply. This is your business Messenger account. You can have thousands of conversations. They will not cut you off for that. You can get in trouble if you are, from your personal profile, sending a bunch of private messages. That's where you can get in Facebook jail. That does not, at least in my experience, like, for example, I mentioned on yesterday's show, I had my son a month ago go in on the app, on the Messenger app, from my business account, and he manually messaged like 150 or 200 people that were in there that had previously responded to a Messenger ad. It was about down payment assistance, or it might have been the rental ad. If you're currently paying X amount per month in rent or more, message me your rent amount and we'll send you 3 houses. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter what they were, but they responded to something, and he followed up with them, and we generated very quickly, within an hour, generated 3 or 4 appointments with folks that, were in there following the exact same logic, scripting, etc., that we use with the Texting Tuesday scripts and process that we've been doing. Yeah, I mean, there's it's different. It's treated differently when it's you don't. Oh, friend connector. Are you saying Mark says you need friend connector to message? I'm assuming,
Well,
Mark,
that's a Chrome extension. Yeah,
that's a Chrome extension, and that's for your personal profile. We're talking about using a business page and using it in an intended fashion. Like Facebook
wants you to do this.
Yeah, 100%. Like this is an intended use of it. What they don't like is when you break their terms of service on your personal profile, which is how I originally got banned from Marketplace, because all of that was happening on my personal profile and I was breaking their terms of service, etc. But this is an intended function. Like this is using it as it is intended, or as it's meant to be used.
I'm trying to figure out how to run the ads, and I can't find that setting again. But it's less important.
Message?
Yeah.
Well, I can show you where to find it. I couldn't get it where it wasn't grayed out.
Yeah.
But when you showed it yesterday, it wasn't grayed out. It was available there.
Right. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, really what this is about is generating the direct conversation with somebody that you have pretty good information about because you have their Facebook profile. Exactly. So if you run ads all day and you have people coming into your inbox responding about specific niche offers that you're making with your ads, and you're good at getting a dialogue going. And I think the name of the game is going to be, hey, can I get your email so I can send you more information related to this?
100%. So we have a document. We'll put the document, Mike, if you can make a note of this, put the doc that you put together with examples of how you continue the conversation to the logical end of an appointment, or what Ryan described. So for example, asking questions about what they're looking for to the logical end of, okay, I'm going to go set you up with, I'm going to set you up with your own portal inside of our MLS so I can directly get you the listings that fit what you're looking for. What's the best email for me to send that to? Right. And now you have someone who, A, you've had a conversation with, they've kind of told you their real estate backstory, and B, you have good data and information. You have the ability to private message them on Facebook. You know their Facebook profile, and you potentially have their email and phone number. And if you want to get fancy, you can either go to their profile. I don't know that this will work, but I'll show you. I've done this before as well. Some folks, don't even realize, depending on how their profile is set up, if you go to the about, some folks will have their email and phone number directly in there. I have been able, I don't know if it's details. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, mine's on mine. If you put it in there, it's there.
Contact and basic info. So she doesn't, but some folks, that information is just publicly available on their account, and don't just use it without asking, but you can say, is this still the best email address for me to set you up with your own portal inside of our MLS, something along those lines.
So before, I was of the opinion that the quickest way to generate a conversation about real estate was to run a Facebook lead ad and then auto reply with a text and get 10 or 20% of those people to conversate with you. This is probably the fastest way, because anybody who clicks the thing is in conversation with you.
So back in May, we did an episode where I was showing a messenger ad, and at that point, my proclamation was, this is without question the fastest way for you to be in actual conversations with people thinking about buying or selling real estate. They are, I mean, it's an actual conversation. And we have proof of it in less than 24 hours. Mark
I can show
has
you.
had an actual conversation with someone that wants to buy a home in December. It's September. That's not that long, that's not that far away. So very encouraging.
Wrong screen.
And
so here's the one this morning. This was a new construction ad. Hi, thanks. This was automated. We did it on the show, the mastermind yesterday. Thanks for your interest. How can we help? Send me the new construction list. Great. Here's and send me the new construction list was a button.
Was this you or was this Mark?
Me. This is our page. Mark doesn't have this page.
Ryan.
Oh, I know. I did this morning.
Take it back. You got to ask another question. Hey, is there a specific area or school district you're looking for? Are you only looking for single family or townhouses? Okay.
Yes.
How many beds and baths? Right. Never. What is that? What did I say? What did I call that? Book a meeting from a meeting. It's not necessarily the same here, but always ask a question so you can continue the conversation. So you get them locked in and make sure that you're decreasing the likelihood that they'll go try and work with someone else, right? Because if they've given you a bunch of information, they told you their life story, and you start with easy questions, right? Easy, for them to answer sort of binary type of questions. And then you can, once you find out, okay, I know the area, I know the price range, I know they want single family, and whatever else with a basement, whatever. And then you can ask an open-ended question, or you can, so give you a couple examples. You can ask an open-ended question, anything else that's of particular importance in the new home that you're looking for. Or you can say, hey, when the time comes in December, will you need help with financing, or will you be purchasing cash? Okay.
Right.
Speaking of which, since I brought up financing, if you see scrolling across the bottom, if you have someone who is, maybe it's you also, you want to tap into your equity, whether it's to, address or consolidate some debt, or to free up some cash for an investment, or whatever the case may be, you can text the number below, and somebody on our team will follow up with you as quickly as possible, hopefully within minutes in most cases, to see what program or programs might be a great fit for you. Also, if I'll give you some examples with everything that's going on in the market and rates and so forth. I think it's important as a service that when you're working with clients, you encourage them to get a second opinion to make sure that they're getting the best deal. Why do I say that? Well, the clients that I mentioned a couple of times recently, the clients that I mentioned that I picked up from the Facebook Marketplace process that I've been following for the last 5 or 6 weeks, there is the doc for that process, and how we're doing that is in the description here. Anyway, those clients, they had gotten a cost sheet from the lender, and I sent it over to Jordan on our mortgage team, and I said, hey, how do we compare to this? And apples to apples, we would have been saving them a 0.5 percentage point on rate. We would have been able to take them to from 6.75 to 6.125 or 6.65 to, it was something like that, almost a 0.5 percentage point. That's a lot of interest over the life of that loan. Okay. Point is, we're happy to do those second opinions. To do that, we don't have to pull credit or do anything crazy or fancy. And at a minimum, you're doing your client a favor and looking out for their best interest. At best, like you're being a legitimate fiduciary for them, where it could potentially change their economic well-being, quite honestly. So if that is the case for any of you, you can reach out to me or schedule a time, or you can text that, but text the number, text HELOC to 866-973-4009. And the auto reply, just say, I need a second opinion for a client. Whatever you're looking for or you need, we're happy to help. Okay, that's the end of the long, convoluted pitch for our mortgage team. Back to the regular scheduled show. Soledad says, why isn't it popping up here? Oh, we were both doing it at the same time. That's why. Do you move these leads into KV Core or with all the conversations take? Well, eventually you would probably want them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right. But
don't have to.
The idea is you warm them up to the point where maybe you put them somewhere else. So, for example, the example that Ryan had up on the screen that for Mark, when you learn what they're looking for, you got to take them and put them somewhere. Maybe you put them in KV Core on a search alert, or you just put them into your MLS, right? And you get a search alert in there. I am going to be testing running this style of campaign, but for home value seller leads, right? And so at some point, I will put them somewhere where I can email them an updated value on an ongoing basis every couple of weeks or once a month, whatever it may be. So I do think you want to use it as a channel to take however you want to clarify this, like, this is for cold leads, and then once they're warmer or hotter, then you may move them somewhere else, whether it's your MLS, whether it's your traditional CRM, or whatever the case may be.
You're trying to get them to give you contact info, and if they do, then you move them into your lead bucket. But you could run this with this is like your light CRM and kind of your MLS alerts. Just log into your MLS and set somebody else. You should be trying to get everybody agreeing to get updates on new listings.
Yeah.
And if it's an interesting enough offer, like we're doing generic new construction here, but if we had done, new construction starter homes priced under a certain amount or something, they would opt in and you would know what they want, and you can go set that up.
Would like documents related to this webinar. Whoever this is, number one, the Facebook Marketplace protocol, it's already in the description. Wherever you're watching this, it's in the description above or below the video. The other document that has the examples of how to continue conversations and questions to ask so you can warm up the clients and get them engaging, etc. We'll get that added. I think it's already on the Wake Up site somewhere. And if not, you know what? I'm going to drop it in the comments here.
And the yesterday's mastermind is on there. It has a great thumbnail.
Oh, great! It's just is it you look like a doof? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
That's the other document that I mentioned. We'll also get that added. If you can't find it, you can comment, or you can just go to wakeup.realestate, use the little chat widget that you see on the screen here at the bottom right, and Mike will get it to you. All right. Well, tomorrow is Follow-Up Friday, and what we're going to do tomorrow is something that I promised earlier in the week. Ryan and I are going to send out direct mail as a follow-up to my top 150. My sphere of influence and past clients. I just cleaned up that list. It's like 193 contacts or something like that. I just cleaned that up, and we're going to use thanks.io and the iList integration that we've been talking about for a couple of weeks to follow up with those folks, to re-engage them, and to see if anybody's thinking about buying or selling or refinancing. And we're going to weave in some other calls to action on the backside of the card as well. So you have that to look forward to. We'll do that live. And I'm excited because it'll generate opportunities for me. Go ahead, Ryan, with Andrew's question there.
Yeah. Any thoughts on connecting to ManyChat? Yeah, for sure. ManyChat's a little bit of work to get configured and working. But you can definitely, set it up that way. And then ManyChat will allow you to message people. I think it's gotten a little strict though on how often you can message people opted in. They have to be engaging within 24 hours or some weird thing. So ManyChat works. What's happened though is that Facebook has given you a lot of ManyChat features natively, the things you used to use ManyChat for. So even that ad we're running now, I mean, there's 3 questions that they can interact with. That half of that conversation you saw with Mark was just automated.
Yeah.
Natively in Facebook.
The other thing I'll mention is we're playing more with this. There's an integration with Go High Level, and we have several Go High Level white label versions, and it plays really well in that environment as well. It's been a long time since I've looked at ManyChat. I know generally speaking it's pretty affordable, but I don't know what the benefits would be based upon what we've shared the last couple of days. The automated bot functionality is pretty cool, but I think
the mass messaging.
Yeah,
if you can go into all your leads and just send a message.
Yeah, I guess some of those regulations have been loosened. I don't know what the current rules and regs are for that. So maybe we should explore that since we're going down this path.
But can I put a bow on this real quick? I mean, it used to be, even when I came into business, like in the late 90s, in order to interact with people, you would run ads in newspapers and stuff, but you would just go out and hand your card out to people.
Yeah.
Like, you can hand your card out with these channels. I can run an ad and have 10, 20 people respond to this today and probably have one really good conversation if I was focused on this inbox and really cared about the person and took the time to look at their profile and had a good conversation about real estate. What more do you need to do an extra deal or 2 a month?
I agree, and I'll double tap on that. I think I shared this during the workshop yesterday. A buddy of mine in Nashville, one of his buddies is pretty high up on the marketing team at DR Horton, and the only thing that they consider a lead someone who's willing to have a conversation with them about a DR Horton listing, right? Not somebody who opts in, whatever. They only consider if they have the ability to have a conversation with them, a willing conversation with them. This is getting you into willing conversations with folks. And we have proof of it over the last 24 hours, but I have years of proof of it. And it's an example of, I've often pivoted away from things that are working because I get distracted. But I have messenger ads that have absolutely crushed it for me in 2020, in 2021, at the end of 2022, and even in the springtime of 23. And then I get distracted and whatever. But like, it works, and you get into conversation with real live active people looking to buy or sell. So couldn't agree more.
Yeah, Andrew, I think your downsizing offer, that ad you've been running, will, for you in particular, just to get that direct interaction, will be fruitful.
The easiest thing you can do is, if you have proof of something working, you have a Facebook lead ad that is working or has worked for you. If you simply just pivot it, you take it exactly as it is, but instead of when you hit learn more, it opens a lead form, they're going to hit send message and they go to Messenger. Like, that's the first place to start. Take something that's already proven to be working. For example, in Andrew's case, a downsizing campaign, and just do that. Or the example that we gave yesterday, Ryan had just gotten an ad to work as a lead form ad. We didn't change anything about it other than where the button takes someone.
Yeah,
or very little. Yeah. Awesome. Tomorrow's follow-up Friday. We're gonna send that out. And we'll walk you through that process. If you have any questions, you need any help, whatever the case may be, go to wakeup.realestate, bottom right. If you or one of your clients is looking for some cash out refi or HELOC options, you can text HELOC to the number scrolling across the screen. I don't even know what the number is. And it had just left the screen. So it's HELOC to 866-973-4009. And if you don't, if you want to chat with somebody on our mortgage team and not about a HELOC, just respond and say second opinion or whatever, and we'll help you one way or the other. Thank you. So this.
Yes.
I thought we were done. Yes. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yes, Andrew.
So Andrew is asking, can you take an ad that is, for example, the call to action is lead form, and can you have it be a different objective or I guess objective or call to action?
I think when you duplicate the campaign, it lets you change it.
Correct. If you have to select it, duplicate it, and then you can change that. Now you'll get a warning that says, this may break some things, and depending on what type you're switching from or to, it breaks more or less of the stuff. But at least you don't have to start from scratch. You can take something, duplicate it, and then modify accordingly. Maybe I need to record doing that as well. In fact, I'm going to record that because I did record yesterday. I promised that after our 1:00 workshop that I would record myself launching basically like a property boost style ad, right, for a specific listing. So I have that recording. What I'll do is I'll show how to duplicate a campaign and switch objectives. I'll record that as well because there was another one that I wanted to do for that anyway, so I might as well record myself doing that. Okay, we're finally, I think, wrapped for the day. Thanks, great crowd today. Appreciate all the comments, questions, interactions, etc. If you can't tell, we're excited, right? Every obstacle can be turned into an opportunity if you know where to look and you keep an open mind and just try stuff. Test stuff out, see what works. We'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place, and talk then.
See you guys.